you want the information that I was using to blackmail Alan Spaulding. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. That is exactly what I want. I figure in your present situation, you might be able to use some money in a bank account somewhere. I'll be happy to deposit it in any name you want, and it'll be waiting for you when you get out.
Diane, why are you putting your head on the chopping block? And suppose I went to Alan and told him, huh?
Andy, you know, I haven't gotten where I am without psyching out important situations before I involve myself. You're not going to go to Alan and tell him anything because there is no profit in it for you. And even if you did, I would simply deny it. I have a feeling Alan would take my word over yours.
You really are shrewd. You know that, Diane, you're absolutely right. I wouldn't tell him because I hate his guts. I'd love to see you double-crossing.
I have no plans to do that.
And why do you want this information?
Because I've learned that having a certain knowledge can be just like a bank account, you know. It gives you a certain measure of security, protection against a threat.
You know, if you were really shrewd, you'd get the information that Mike Bauer is looking for, the information that will link Alan Spaulding with Roger Thorpe. Then you really have...
Andy, I came here to discuss one thing with you and one thing only. I want to buy the information that you were using to blackmail Alan Spaulding.
Okay, I think that can be done. But my price is $100,000.
Derek, I think you should just ignore it.
Hillary, I know that you can't stand Nola, but that doesn't mean I have to be rude to her. I mean, you ever stop to think that maybe she's really upset about what happened yesterday?
Derek, don't you think that Floyd deserves the sympathy? I mean, he is the one who stood up at the altar. All right, fine, I'm not going to change your mind. So, when are you supposed to meet dear little Nola?
The note says that she'd like me to call her in central filing. Well, I'll have a few minutes to talk to her, but then I have to get back to the office and work on this case for Andy this afternoon.
Good luck.
With Andy or with Nola?
Both. You're going to meet. Why don't you use the phone over there and do me a favor? Don't give Nola my love.
You know, I wish you'd stop thinking about Nola and think about what I asked you last night.
I am. I will. We'll talk about it.
All right. See you later.
Bye.
Boy! Hey, buddy, why don't you come over and sit down?
Yeah, sure, Tony. I'll be right there.
Ma wanted me to come by and see how you're doing.
I'm kind of rocky. I had too much to drink last night.
Well, you were entitled.
And seeing Nola when I got in here today, that really shook me up. I mean, all of a sudden I realized that everything is different between us now. And it always will be.
I still can't believe she pulled that at the last minute, Flora.
I just keep thinking about the baby and how she's going to handle all that.
You know, she very well might change her mind in a couple of weeks when she realizes what a spot she's in.
No. I know her well enough that she'd never do anything like that. I mean, she just keeps saying that she wants to get on with her life now.
Get on with her life. We never should have given her any money to go to the movies with, Floyd. Really, it affected her brain. Really, I think she's playing a part now, like one of those broads in the movies who walk off into the sunset at the end all the time.
No, I think this is very real with her. I'm just worried about the idea of her having the baby all on her own. There's Derek. Maybe I should talk with him, you know, about the legal side of all this. And then I can talk it over with Nola. Boy, when I'm ever up to facing her again.
You know, I still can't believe that's the same four-eyed little creep I used to beat up every day in school.
I like Derek. How come you used to beat him up?
We went to grammar school together, and he was one of those brainy-type kids. All the teachers loved him. And that bugged me. So I used to chase him home every day, and when I caught him, I'd beat him up.
Hi, Derek.
Oh, no.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you had the time to see me today.
Sure. Well, Floyd, I think you're going to have to find yourself another lawyer. Looks like Nola's got old Derek tied up in her corner. Yeah, well, it's bad enough finding out he spent the night with Diane, but having both lie to my face. Well, still married to Hope, and she's in love with him despite everything.
Tell me, how long do you think Andy's hearing is going to run?
Oh, it'd take a couple, 3 hours, I guess, for Judge Hargraves to hear the witnesses and the evidence. Why?
Let's get a cup of coffee, huh? because no matter how Barbara's been bracing herself, it's still going to come as an incredible shock when she sees Andy taken away to prison.
Yeah, I'm glad Mom's spending the day with her.
I think I'll go down to the courthouse and be there for her when it's over. I think Holly would expect me to do that. And she can't be here. No, I've been even thinking of going down and talking to Andy down at the jail, but I somehow cannot bring myself to face him after everything he's done.
Yeah, well, I think that's just as well.
Why? Why do you say that?
No reason.
I cannot believe that you are seriously asking for that kind of money.
I need that money to stop Trish and Vanessa from taking over the Copper Lantern.
Oh, what do you care about that at this
I
point?
do care. Because I hate them both dearly. Especially Vanessa. Oh, I could give you some information on her that would... No. No, on second thought, I don't think so. I'm going to save that for Ed. I know I'll never meet him face to face, but when they take me to wherever they're going to take me, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to write him a little letter. I'm going to send it to him. And there is no amount of money that can take that kind of pleasure from me.
And now, the award-winning Guiding Light. This portion is presented by Safeguard for great deodorant soap protection, plus a rich, smooth lather and a clean, fresh scent. And by Bounce, it gets clothes soft, free of static cling, and gives them long-lasting freshness.
Are you using the wrong machine to soften your clothes?
I use the washer and this liquid softener.
I use the dryer and Bounce.
My stuff is soft.
I like Bounce's softness.
My socks don't stick together.
Bounce controls static cling better. Practically eliminates it.
How's that?
Well, Bounce works in the dryer, where static starts.
Well, my clothes smell good.
Take a whiff.
Fresh.
Did it 3 days ago. Took it out today.
Wow, my clothes never smell like that.
No liquid or sheets got Bounce's terrific fresh scent.
Bounce your clothes in the dryer, where its special fresheners can't get rinsed away.
Guess I have been using the wrong machine and the wrong softener.
Hey! Bounce, the right fabric softener for the right machine.
I expect my kids to steal my Safeguard, but my own sister? Wasn't me. I brought my own soap.
You mean you don't know about Safeguard's unbeatable deodorant soap protection?
Or Safeguard's rich lather?
Or the fresh scent?
No. But I'm going to find out. What about your soap? Most soaps don't lather up this rich, even when they're big. My own sister. My Safeguard isn't safe with anyone.
For the combination of lather and protection, fresh-smelling Safeguard's the smallest soap in the house.
You took a bargain brand dishwashing liquid. If I gave you the money, which would you buy?
Ivory. I would take this.
Why Ivory Liquid?
It's nice to my hands.
So why did you buy this product?
It's a lot cheaper.
What if I told you that Ivory Liquid is a better buy?
You'd have to show me.
Let's test your brand against Ivory Liquid with a penny's worth of each. We'll wash some dishes, okay? Mr. Clark, how are your suds holding up?
They're practically gone.
And what about the Ivory Liquid suds?
I'm in good shape.
Let's scoop some up and compare.
Are you kidding?
So tell me what happened.
He ran out of suds, but I had more, so I washed some more dishes.
What is the result, then?
We'd save money by buying the Ivory Liquid. You can do more with less.
What do you want to do?
I'm going to pick up some ivory.
You don't have to give up mild Ivory Liquid to save money.
I don't think I've ever enjoyed an evening as much as I did last night. I mean, your house is perfect already. Dinner was lovely, and most of all, I love the stories about your grandmother.
No, Ross, those stories are so personal, they'd bore most people silly.
Well, I like to think I'm not most people. Here you go.
Thanks.
I've wanted to know more about you since the day we met.
You know, Ross, I really can't believe that I'm going to have to get on that company jet and fly all the way to New York City to have that meeting with the art director there. I haven't even settled into my beautiful home yet, and the thought of staying in some cramped and stuffy hotel room I really dread.
Now, wait a minute. I've seen your reservation. You are staying in one of the most expensive hotels in New York. Matter of fact, Diane has made a reservation for a suite for you, which means you're getting the VIP treatment around this company.
I don't care about fancy hotel suites. I don't care about company jets. All I care about is being in my own home with my own things around me.
You know, I pity that cleaning lady of yours who has to follow those detailed instructions as to how to keep your plants alive while you're away.
It's not that bad.
What are you talking about? Your new apartment could double as a greenhouse. I've never seen so many plants in one room in my life.
Are you calling me eccentric?
That is not the first word that sprang to my mind, though.
Well, I guess the boss isn't in again today, huh?
Carol. Hope was taken to the hospital with severe abdominal pains. Alan is there now.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I haven't even met Hope yet, but I know how much Alan still loves her, and... Boy, I hope that doesn't mean there's some danger for her baby.
I don't know. I hope not. I don't think Alan could get through it. He has been working so hard for a reconciliation of some sort. Matter of fact, he was counting on one after the baby's born.
I think people who love each other should be together. In fact, I think it's the most important thing in the whole wide world. It's the thing that makes it go round.
Well, if Alan has anything to say about it, they will be together. Anyway, that is why Alan has been in here so seldom since you've started working here. Hope is his #1 priority.
It's the way it should be. I can't tell you how much I admire that man. In his position with all the money and the power in the world, and none of it means any more to him than hope.
I have to tell you, during Kelly and Morgan's wedding, I kept thinking of our wedding day when we exchanged the rings we wear.
I was thinking about that, too.
You know, I'm being very selfish, monopolizing your time with your whole family waiting outside to come in and say hello. I'm just grateful that you asked to see me first. So I have to go downtown to court for about an hour or so to testify at Andy's hearing. But when I'm finished, I'll come back and wait to see you again.
Alan, you can't stay here all the time. It could be a week or more until the baby's born. They never know with the first child.
I don't want to hear any arguments. Besides, I couldn't concentrate if I were anywhere else.
Well, what about your business?
If there's anything that needs my attention, Diane knows where to find me.
I want you to know that I thank you a lot for being honest with me about last night.
I had no reason to keep it from you. I know your father blames me for lying to Bert on the telephone when I called her. But I just felt it would sound strange to her.
Well, if you're always this honest with me about things, then my imagination won't go wild thinking you're purposely keeping things away from me.
I'll never do that again. I paid too high a price. Well, I'll see you in a little while. Bye-bye.
Well, if you won't lower your price, I suppose I'm going to have to meet it.
Yeah, I thought you'd eventually come around to my way of thinking. First of all, because you're running out of time. And number 2, I have what you want.
All right. Well, tell me. What were you holding over Alan's head?
No, I'm afraid not, Diane. That's not the way it's going to work. You see, you have to come back here with the deposit slip proving that you have put $100,000 in my account at Springfield Trust, then I'll give you what you want.
How can I be sure that you won't double-cross me after I've deposited that money in an account that I can't withdraw it from? Or that you won't give me phony information?
I don't think you can be sure of that, Diane. But you must have known him when you came in this morning that you were playing a very dangerous game with all the odds in my favor. Good day, Diane. Guard!
I remember when I was a little baby, and I had my very first bite of Jell-O pudding, you know. Tasted so rich and creamy. Very first words out of my mouth that I ever spoke were, "More Jell-O pudding, please."
You said that?
Mm-hmm.
Kids love Jell-O brand pudding, and because you make it with fresh milk, you know it's wholesome.
Did she just say something? More Jell-O pudding, please.
You said that.
Listen. See?
Hey,
what's that? Bursting with great taste. Surprise, Henry. It's Cycle dog food. New Cycle, a delicious new mixture of red, brown, and golden nuggets. Oh, don't worry, Henry. Cycle still has just the right nutrition for your stage of life. But now it's bursting with a great new taste you'll love. Uh-oh, you missed a piece. New Cycle, bursting with a great new taste.
Kathy, spell ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist. VENTRILOQUIST.
Correct, you're the new champion.
Yes, that I spelled ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist? I'd have trouble spelling dummy.
Reach out and touch someone.
All over the world, beautiful women know that beautiful skin begins with good cleansing. That's why all over the world, more women cleanse with this cleansing cream than any other. It's a hypoallergenic, non-drying, deep cleaning cleansing cream. It's Pond's Cold Cream. And it helps make more women beautiful than any other cleansing cream in the world.
Tonight, Magnum tries to help a friend in trouble.
I can let you do that, TC.
And battles desperately to prove that friendship is thicker than blood. Then, on Knots Landing, Val learns she is seriously ill.
I don't want to die.
Can Gary accept the truth?
No!
Exciting drama, tonight.
Yeah, well, I guess it must have been fate that brought me to the disco last night. I want to thank you for coming over to say hello to me. I noticed nobody else at your table did.
Nola, I don't know anything about your feud with Hillary, and I'm really not interested.
Well, I'm not going to say anything to you, because I know you're close to
Look,
Hillary.
I make up my own mind about people. You've always been very nice to me. I have no reason not to reciprocate.
Oh, that's good. It's good to have an open mind. Did you ever see A Place in the Sun with Montgomery Clift and Elizabeth Taylor?
I thought that was Sidney Poitier.
No, that was A Raisin in the Sun.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Well, everybody ganged up on Montgomery Clift because he tried to drown Shelley Winters in this rowboat. But see, Elizabeth Taylor, she didn't, she kept an open mind. She didn't get angry at Montgomery.
Oh, excuse me, but how do you drown somebody in a rowboat?
I think I must be telling the story wrong because somebody else asked me that same question.
Kelly Nelson, undoubtedly.
How did you know that?
Oh, it's a comparison I've heard before.
Oh.
Wouldn't you just love to know what Nola's yakking on to Derek about over there, huh?
I wonder if she's talking to him about all the legal things down the road. I mean, if she is, she'd have to tell him about the baby, and I just can't see her doing that.
Well, if she's gonna get on with her life and play the liberated lady, she's gonna have to start telling someone. Being pregnant's a pretty tough thing to hide after a while.
That's for sure.
Lord, I have to tell you, you have yourself one fine sister.
Yeah, I think so, too. Katie's the best there is.
Yeah, she's not bad to look at, either. Hey, don't give up yet, huh?
I was just thinking I'm going to have to work out some kind of financial arrangement with Nola. I mean, I'm still responsible for the baby.
Floyd, anybody ever tell you you're some kind of saint?
How can you say that when your sister is carrying my baby?
I've known it's taken two people to make a baby since I was 10 years old. So I'm not about to just start blaming you alone for that.
I just keep wondering how Nola ever let herself get pregnant. I mean, she's so up to the minute on everything.
I guess we'll never know, Floyd. Come on, tell me some more about Katie, will you?
Thank you. Welcome. You know, it was the most encouraging talk I've had with Hope in weeks.
Oh, that's good. Well, I think that you two will draw closer now that the baby's coming, and afterwards you'll draw closer still.
I hope so. I am feeling a little more optimistic now that I've seen her. Bert, there's something that I want to tell you. I cleared it up with Hope first just a few minutes ago, and, well, it was just something I hope you'll understand.
Well, what is it?
When we spoke earlier, I told you that I was at the club. Mm-hmm. That was not true. I worked late with Diane last night, and I slept over on her sofa instead of going back to the club. I just wasn't sure if you...
Alan, you don't have to say anything further. I do understand. But I'm very glad that you told Hope about it, because that way she won't find out about it from somebody else sometime, and think all sorts of things.
Thank you. Maybe I'm still able to learn a few things after all.
Well, I'm glad you're going, Barbara.
Well, I've never been the kind of person that would run away from things. But there isn't any more that I'll be ever can do for Andrew. I mean, not after today.
Barbara, try to remember that it's not the end for Andy. Hopefully now he'll be able to get professional help he needs to straighten out his thinking, and then he'll be able to lead a constructive, productive life when he's released.
I keep holding on to that thought. I really do. It's just that he's my youngest child. And he's so frightened of prison.
Well, I'm happy to know they're going to keep you here until the baby is born so they can keep an eye on you.
I had so many things I wanted to get done before the baby was born, and now it's all going to have to wait. Do you know how the fourth floor's coming along?
Yeah, from what I hear, it should be ready in a day or two. Maybe tomorrow, I think.
Really?
Yeah. Well, yeah, Vanessa was out of town for a couple of days. She promised Ed that it'd be ready by the time she got back. You should be very proud of the way the rest of the hospital looks.
I think I am. You know, I've been thinking that when I get the baby home, I'm going to have to make a lot of major decisions about the future of my life.
I guess you're talking about your marriage.
Yes, I am. Dad, if I do decide to try and give my marriage another chance, do you think you could try and get along with Alan?
Well, honey, I think I've always tried to be fair. And if Alan makes an effort to change and to be a good husband and a good father, I would certainly try to meet him halfway.
It's more than I could ask for, Dad. Now, I want you to know Alan told me the truth about last night at Diane's. And he also admitted to me that he did lie to you and Grandma because he thought you would misunderstand. Dad, he really seems to be making an effort, and I can't ignore that. I've got to give him credit for it.
Look, Nola, I really hate to rush you, but I have to be leaving soon, so was there something specific that you wanted to talk about?
Well, yeah, I wanted to thank you for saying hello to me last night.
Huh?
And second, I want to, ask you if I need any legal advice, if you could help.
Absolutely. I'm always glad to take on a new client.
Of course, I can't pay you a whole lot because I got to still pay back the loan from the credit union, but, I can make it up to you.
No, it's all right. A lot of my clients can't afford fancy legal fees, so what I do is I adjust mine to their income. But let's just hope that you won't need any help, okay?
Yeah, well, I will. I know that. Now, can you keep a secret?
Absolutely. It's part of the ethics, just like doctors.
Well, I guess might as well just come out and say it. I'm pregnant.
Butter. Butter.
No, parquet.
Butter.
No, parquet margarine.
Butter.
Light, smooth, creamy. Ah, butter.
Parquet.
Parquet margarine from Kraft. The flavor says...
Butter. When we set out to improve a great laundry detergent, we wanted to keep the powerful cleaners that work on ordinary dirts, that cut through food stains, that get out grease and oil, and add powerful cleaners that clean collar soil even better than before. So that's what we did. All in the concentrated quarter cup called New Formula Era. So effective, it cleans clean through. Watch Era clean through collar soil, taco grease, and motor oil. We treat only the top with a teaspoon of Era, rub, run under warm water, and look. New Era cleans clean through. That's the kind of power you get in Era's little quarter cup. New Era, power that cleans clean through.
Tickle their noses with something different.
Tickle their noses with blueberries.
Duncan Hines blueberry muffins are their blueberriest ever. Duncan Hines blueberry muffins.
They taste just as great as they smell.
Great taste.
We'll continue with part 2 of The Guiding Light
in a moment.
Sunday, it's 60 Minutes. Then Murray and his girlfriend announce some plans.
I took the job in San Francisco.
Murray ain't gonna be happy there.
Will Murray ever come back to Archie Bunker's place? Then on One Day at a Time.
I think I'm in love with Jean.
Will Schneider tie the knot? Sunday, all starting at 7, 6 Central and Mountain.
This is CBS.
Your supermarket is holding a great event. Save up to $15 with coupons, refunds, and offers on over 60 brands. Look for this great events insert in your Sunday paper.
This is a test. For the next 60 seconds, this station will conduct a test of the emergency broadcast system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency broadcast system. The broadcasters of your area, in voluntary cooperation with federal, state, and local authorities, have developed this system to keep you informed in the event of an emergency. If this had been an actual emergency, the attention signal you just heard would have been followed by official information, news, or instructions. This concludes the test of the emergency broadcast system.
All the day's news at 6.
The Guiding Light. This portion is presented by Cascade, the dishwasher detergent that leaves dishes and glasses virtually spotless. And by Jif. Choosy mothers choose Jif.
Barbara? Yes? Alan and I are going down to the cafeteria. Would you like to come with us?
Oh, I think I'll wait up here for you. Thank you very much.
Okay, dear.
Bye.
Bye.
Everybody's been so kind and considerate.
Barbara, I've just finished a session with Sarah, and we were talking about some of the things that I may have to testify to in court this afternoon. Now, I think it's very possible that these things might be very painful for you to hear, so I think it would be better if you ask to be excused after you make your statement to the judge.
Now, I had dinner with Katie the other night, and she was telling me all the details of her relationship with Andrew. So many things, including Andrew's taking the keys out of her purse from time to time. I don't think I could have ever hear anything that was harder to listen to than that.
I am talking about some very deeply personal things that have to do with my marriage to Andy. Now, Derek said that the judge may not go into them. On the other hand, he may. And I would prefer it if you didn't have to hear them.
Well, I'll ask Derek if I could be excused when you get up to make your statement. Strange, isn't it? That I can know my son all his life, and I never saw this side of him.
Well, I think it was a side that he kept hidden from the world, and especially from those that he was closest to. Barbara, I know it may be difficult for you to talk about such things right now, but if I am awarded the Copperland and as part of my settlement, and Vanessa and I do take it over, I hope that someday soon you'll be able to come back there and take your rightful place in the business. It's always going to be there for you.
Thank you, Trish. I just can't think about something like that just now. See, I just have to take it one day at a time.
I know. So am I.
Oh, Diane, Alan called again a few minutes ago, and it appears that Hope is out of danger now.
Oh, good. Good, I'm so relieved. Oh, listen, I'm really sorry to be so late, but I was investigating a rather chancy personal investment. On the way over here, I decided that I would put my money in a safer place and hope for the same result. Oh, listen, I left a message for Joe Bradley to call me. Did he get back to me?
Joe, no, there's no message to that effect. I certainly didn't take the call. Listen, Diane, you know, I've become something of a specialist in investment since I've been working for Amanda. And I'd be willing to give you some advice, which would be on the house, of course, if you want me to.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Ross. There really wasn't time with this particular thing for advice, unfortunately. Although, you know, you could help me with something. Have you heard of a company called the Springfield Investment Company?
No, I haven't. Why do you ask?
Oh, someone mentioned it to me. I called information for a listing, but they're not listed.
Well, I'll look into it for you if you'd like.
Oh, no, don't bother. I have somebody working on it for me. I better get to my office and check my messages. Oh, hi, Diane. I'll see you later. Excuse me. Thank you.
What's wrong? What's bothering you?
Nothing. I was sorry. I was just thinking about some business problems.
Do you know that I like your face a lot better when it's smiling than when it's frowning?
I'll remember that. Anyway, I think I have thought of a way out of my problem. It may cost me some temporary loss of esteem in certain circles, but I'd rather pay that price now than a costlier one down the road.
Well, good. I like that way of thinking. I heard a rumor you wanted to see me.
Oh, yeah. Jackie called, and she was asking if you and I were free for dinner tonight. What do you say?
Oh, I'd love to go. But you know, Ross, I have to be up at the crack of dawn to catch that plane to go to New York.
No. She promised us an early evening. Yeah, Jackie needs her rest now, too, you know.
Oh. Well, in that case, okay, fine. I'd love to go.
This may be our last chance to see Jackie before the new baby is born.
Ross, I'm leaving for New York. Why is it your last chance?
I don't know. I don't know why I said that.
I believe you do know why you said that. What is going on in that devious little mind of yours?
Devious. Nothing at all is going on in my little mind. Nothing.
Ross Meyer, I have not known you very long, but there's one thing I know, and that's your emotions all over your face.
No, wait a minute. You're the one who should have been a lawyer, maybe a private investigator. That's what you call him.
Okay, so we'll pretend that I am, and now you'll tell me everything that's going on, right?
Nothing is going on, I promise you.
Well, for a minute, I thought I had the wrong officers in me. This much hilarity here.
Sorry. Vanessa, what are you doing back? I didn't expect you here.
Yes, I had to cut my trip short at the last moment. Have either of you seen Daddy?
No, I haven't seen him yet today. No, sorry.
Neither have I.
Well, I have to get to the hospital and see Ed, but would you please tell Daddy that I need to see him immediately?
Yes, I'll give him that message.
Thank you. Immediately.
Immediately. From the look on her face, I think Daddy is in big trouble. You know, I have always thought that a grown woman calling her father Daddy was a bit odd, but for some reason it struck me as very funny this time.
Well, I thought I'd stop by instead of returning your call since I was just around the corner.
Well, good, because I wanted to remind you to move on finding out everything you can about the Springfield Investment Company.
You don't have to remind me about that because I'm already working on it. Yeah, I just can't get over those letters that you showed me of Henry's because...
Will you please be quiet? Don't breathe a word of that. That is my own little secret until I decide to drop that bombshell on Henry myself.
Hello, Diane.
Vanessa.
Good morning, Vanessa. You know, if I didn't know better, I'd say that Vanessa already knows Daddy's little secret.
We've been spying on you.
I don't believe it.
You took 32 minutes picking out that food. Why so choosy?
Because we like to eat well.
Peanut butter.
I love peanut butter.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I've been eating peanut butter and jam forever, it seems, and my daughter's really into it.
What do you look for in a brand?
It has to taste like fresh peanuts.
Let's try a test. With hidden labels, which of these leading brands tastes more like fresh peanuts?
B.
You chose
Jif.
You wouldn't kid me now.
I wouldn't kid you. Do I look like a joker?
Women with a preference choose Jif for fresh peanut taste.
My family will love Jif peanut butter.
Choosy mothers choose Jif.
And I'm choosy for myself.
Your new place has so much light. Herbert's going to love it here. Herbert?
Oh, Herbert. And I brought extra glasses for your housewarming. Oh, no. Mine look spotty next to yours. They look fine in my apartment, but they look awful in this bright light.
I'll just rewash them in Cascade.
Oh, will it help?
I washed mine in Cascade.
I can see the difference.
Try Cascade. Most detergents can leave drops that spot, but Cascade sheeting action leaves glasses virtually spotless.
These Cascade glasses look great, even in this bright light.
Oh, beautiful. Right, Henry?
Herbert.
For virtually spotless dishes, try Cascade and put your glasses in their very best light.
Sometimes, if you heard what people think...
Another fan.
Wow, a movie star. But she's scratching her head. Could she have dandruff?
Must want my autograph.
No flakes, but that itch. Even she couldn't eat Head & Shoulders.
That itch could be dandruff, but Head & Shoulders handles that itch, treats hair gently, so all people notice is healthy-looking hair.
Beautiful hair. Aren't you?
Head & Shoulders, because that little itch should be telling you something. Available in regular and conditioning formula.
Well, when Floyd and your brother Tony stopped by on their way out, I really had difficulty concealing my feelings about how it just went.
Oh, Derek, then, imagine how I must feel having to face Floyd every day.
It must be very difficult.
Oh, boy. Well, that's why I have to start looking for another job, but I can't quit here until I pay off that loan from the credit union. So that's why I was wondering if you could, keep your eyes and ears open and look for another job that I could do.
Oh, I sure will. And I want you to know I admire your courage for going off on your own like this. I mean, there are a lot of young women who...
Oh, Derek, I could never have an abortion. I was really in love with Floyd when the baby was conceived. It's just, well, everything's changed now, and I just realized that it was wrong to marry him.
Now, look, I know that you'd rather not have people knowing the whole story, but if they knew your position, it might make it a lot easier.
Look, Derek, I know people around here, including Hillary, think that I made a very selfish and last-minute decision. It's just... Well, I'd rather have them think that about me than run Floyd into the ground. I just realized that I would make Floyd very unhappy, But it's really, really, really nice to know that I have a friend like you to turn to from time to time once the baby's born.
You can count on it, Nola.
Yes. Thank you so much, Mike. I just couldn't go into this upstairs in pediatrics in front of Ed. Now, this is a situation. I was in Chicago this morning, and the DA's office here calls me and tells me I have to fly back here and give a statement in that awful Andy Norris case. Well, of course, I pretended I didn't know anything about it. And then they threatened to subpoena me. They said that it's just a matter of record that I was one of Andy's blackmail victims.
Yeah, well, that was a matter of record ever since we got Joe Bradley, and he established he was working for you.
Oh, well, Mike, I can't risk having that kind of information become public knowledge.
You don't have to worry about that. The judge will see you privately in his chambers, and it won't be a matter of the court record insofar as the information that Andy was using against you.
Well, I'm still very nervous about it, you see, because, well, for instance, people like Ed don't know that I was one of Andy's blackmail victims, and... Oh, there's no point pretending with you. You know all about my suicide attempt.
Yeah, you don't have to pretend with me. But I certainly won't say anything to Ed, but I will tell you that he's planning to go down there today. And it's possible that Andy may take some delight in telling him himself.
Oh, you've got to stop him. You must stop him.
Well, I can do that. He doesn't take orders. I wish I could. I don't want to see...
Hello, Vanessa. Welcome back.
Hello.
I was so surprised to see you standing there when I came out of Hope's room, and then even more surprised when after I finished talking to her doctor, I turned around and you'd gone. What brings you back from Chicago?
Can I have your autograph? Cassie?
Hi. Why didn't you tell me about new improved Stay-Free Maxi Pads?
I haven't had a chance. They're brand new.
Well, they're still your favorite full-size protection, aren't they?
Uh-huh. But now they have 2 adhesive strips placed far apart, so they stay extra secure, extra comfortable.
That is better.
Sure.
New improved Stay-Free Maxi Pads. They stay extra secure, extra comfortable.
Thanks for the Stay-Free, Kathy. Oh, can I have your autograph, too?
Oh.
There's a sound a cat makes when she's really happy and healthy. And there's a way a cat looks when she's really happy and healthy. To keep your cats looking good and sounding good, feed them Calcan. Calcan's got all the vitamins and minerals and protein a cat needs.
It's so nutritious, it's like getting a multivitamin in every can. Now that's the sound of a healthy cat.
Calcan. It's like getting a multivitamin in every can.
I like helping others. It's a very special feeling. But sometimes when I feel a little irregular, I need a little help myself. And that's when I take Correctol, the modern gentle laxative. Correctol's special formula combines a mild laxative with a softening agent. Its gentle overnight action helps me feel like myself again. It's easy to understand why so many women today use Correctol, the modern gentle laxative.
See you later, Hillary.
Okay, well, I'll walk out with you.
Oh, okay, dear.
Hillary! Hey, I could pick you out of a crowd today. How come you dress different from everybody else?
Oh, hi, Tony. I, have the new uniform on. Not everybody has them on yet.
Yeah? I like it. Listen, I really stopped by to find out how Katie's doing.
Well, I think she's going to be a lot better after Andy's hearing. Of course, she's still worried about Floyd.
Yeah, Mom and I were too. You know, I think I got him talked into staying on at the house.
Oh, good. Good. I'm glad. I think Floyd could really use being around a family now.
Yeah.
You know, I think your mom's an awfully nice lady, and I'm sure she was pretty shocked when she found out about Nola.
Yeah, we both were. I thought Nola could never shock me again. I was wrong.
Well, I've been in that position with Nola a few times myself, especially when she tried to pull this little stunt with Kelly.
Oh, speaking of which, how'd their wedding go?
Oh, without a hitch. It was beautiful.
Gee, that's great. I mean, I think Morgan and Kelly deserve to be really happy after everything Nola put them through.
No, I really respect you a lot for saying that. Most brothers couldn't be that objective.
Just being honest. But I have to tell you, you know, as much as I wanted to take Nola over my knee after what she did yesterday, I think she was telling the truth when she said that she just would have made Floyd miserable if she went through with it.
Hillary, I've been looking all over for you. I want to say goodbye before I took off. Tony, we meet again.
How you doing, Doc? I'll see you later, okay?
Bye, Tony.
Well, listen, I'm really running late, but I wanted to get you and have you wish me luck on this one.
Okay. Good luck.
Thanks, I'm going to need it. And later, I'm going to push you to talk about that proposal I made last night.
All right, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, and listen, since nobody is around...
Oh, please. This is a place of business.
Oh, come on. That's the only way I can get my kicks these days, especially since you're working with your boss almost every night. I hope you noticed how politely I left your apartment when Alan dropped in so unexpectedly last night.
Yes, I did. Thank you very much.
Listen, if those all-night meetings keep going on any longer, I'm going to start to think that you were just handing me a line when you said that you were getting over those hang-ups about your old boss.
Oh, I think I've given you plenty of proof to the contrary since we started seeing each other again. Well, I caught that glare Vanessa gave you when she passed us in the hallway earlier.
Oh, I'm getting used to that. I have to see her again this afternoon when I give my statement to the judge on Andy Norris's case.
How are you involved with that?
I thought I told you that I was working for H.B. Lewis. Yeah, he hired me to find the money that Andy stole from his youngest son.
Oh, yeah, right. I remember. Well, what's Vanessa doing there?
Geez, that's funny. I don't have any idea. I just saw her name on the witness list there.
Well, find out, will you? I mean, if Andy was blackmailing her, too, maybe there's something else we can get on her.
Yeah, I think that what you have on Henry should just about do the trick for both of them if you ever need it.
Oh, that really intrigues you a lot, doesn't it?
Well, I think it would make quite an interesting story for some raunchy tabloid.
You're wrong. If that ever hits the press, it would lose all of its value for me.
Yeah, I've got to tell you, lady, that I am so glad that you are on my side again.
You better believe it.
I do.
Hello, Andy. I'm surprised you agreed to see me.
My curiosity got the best of me. I couldn't believe you'd have the gall to show up today of all days.
I did because I felt I needed to talk to you one more time before your hearing today.
Yeah? You're a dime. Shoot.
I wanted to assure you that both Vanessa and I want the restaurant to be a success for your mother's sake. Though, so that in a few years she'll be able to come back to it and share in all of it, if we're lucky enough to make a go of it.
Guard!
Would you rather it be sold at auction to pay off for all your back debts?
I'd rather anything happen, but the two people I hate most in the world take over something that belongs to me!
Andy, I am very fond of your mother.
Oh,
and I want to try my best to help her through this awful time. I talked to her today at the hospital, and I asked her not to be present in the courtroom when certain statements are made that I know will be very painful for her to hear.
I can imagine the lies you're going to tell in that
I
courtroom
don't
this
have
afternoon.
to lie to say anything that would shock anyone and just end up destroying your mother. And I think you know...
I know why you came here today. You came here to twist the knife because you don't think I'm in a position to get you, don't you? I'll tell you something, Trish. I swear I'll tell you something. They haven't built the prison that will keep me from getting even with you for what you're doing to me today. I'm going to find a way. So I want you to keep looking over your shoulder for the rest of your life, because one day I'm going to be there, and I want you to remember this afternoon before you open your mouth!
If your husband's plain uncoated white plate just sprung a leak, make a fuss. And the next time, give him a Dixie printed plate. It won't soak through.
Dixie helps you do more for the people you care for.
When it's lunch on the run, don't you miss out on the fun. Give him Dixie printed plates. The prettiest plates you'll never wash.
Dixie helps you do more for the people you care for.
I do one thing. I sing. By doing one thing all my life, I developed my own special style. Like Kentucky Fried Chicken. All they do is chicken, but they do it like nobody else.
Oh, Kentucky Fried Chicken, they do it right. Tender and juicy, right at the bite. No other fried chicken tastes so right. Kentucky Fried Chicken, they do chicken right.
Do you know how many of the leading brands of salad and cooking oil are made from corn? Exactly one. Mazola corn oil. This is the source of Mazola, a source that's rich in natural food value. Because it's corn oil, Mazola is low in saturated fats, with no cholesterol. Because it's Mazola corn oil, no leading oil tastes lighter. And because it's Mazola, it's not made from soybeans or sunflowers. Because Mazola is the only leading brand made from the goodness of corn.
Nacho cheese-flavored Doritos brand tortilla chips are so cheesy and crunchy. America's favorite snack chip.
Hey, Connie, we're out of nacho cheese Doritos. Got a couple bags?
No, but we've got lots of other chips.
No more?
They're out? I hate to eat and run.
In fact, people love that cheesy flavor so much that no matter what else you run out of, if you want to keep cheese lovers happy, never run out of nacho cheese Doritos.
This week.
What do you want with my family? Well, I'm your daughter's twin sister. Carol is not your sister. And I would like it if you'd leave my home right now.
Then on As the World Turns.
Listen to me, Margot. Listen to me. I'm staying with her because I love her, because she's my wife. I don't love you.
And on Search for Tomorrow.
I'm not going to give up what we have, but don't bury your feelings. Please, just talk to me.
3 compelling dramas every weekday afternoon here on CBS.
I beg your pardon.
You really have to learn to watch where you're going.
And aren't you turning into the little local prankster around here?
Yeah, I know. I never used to be that way until you showed up. You're the one that's bringing out that part of my nature.
And what do I have to do to scare it back into hiding?
No, don't do that.
Oh, no?
I'm just learning to enjoy life. I'd hate to see it come to an end.
Well, Ross, we still have serious careers to consider, and I think proper decorum is essential, don't you?
I have spent the better part of my life being an arch conservative. I'm now putting those years of propriety and decorum behind me. You know what I've been working on?
What?
That extravagance we talked about the other night at dinner.
Ross?
What?
You get any more extravagant with your sense of humor, we'll both be looking for a new job. Get it?
Why, did you hear something?
No.
There's no danger of that.
Well, okay. I hate to interrupt this incredibly cute conversation, but I have to get these sketches approved.
I'm going to let you go, but this is under protest, and I'm going to pick you up at 5:30 to take you to Justin's.
What time is it now?
A little after 5.
I'll never make it.
Well, sorry.
Sorry.
All right. I'll get back to you about it. Yeah, thanks.
Hello, Joe. How are you?
Listen, we're supposed to be on the house with Diane, so don't forget it.
Oh, I almost forgot, but at least I managed to glare at you earlier in the corridor, didn't I?
Yeah, and that worked just fine. Look, before Diane walks in here, I got to tell you.
No, I have to talk to you about the hearing this afternoon. It's very important.
I thought that was going along just fine, especially since the judge invited you into his chambers to talk privately.
Yes, that part of it went just fine. But then, as I was leaving, I walked right into Ed, and he, of course, had no idea why I was there.
Well, I don't see why that should bother you. I mean, you were Andy's friend. Can't you just slough it off that way?
No, you don't understand Ed. He's so honest that even being evasive upsets him. And I, of course, made up some lame excuse, but I don't know if he believed me. And tonight when I see him, I know he's going to ask me all kinds of questions, and I simply cannot run the risk of his finding out.
What were you going to say?
Nothing. I guess I just need to talk to my father. He's usually the one who has all the right answers for me.
I thought you knew.
Knew what?
Well, Diane told me earlier that your father has flown to Chicago this morning.
What? Joe, have you finished your call yet?
I'm so glad that the judge decided not to press charges against you.
So was I. All I could think of while I was waiting for Judge Hargrave's decision was having my son born while I was waiting to face charges of some kind.
He's still convinced it's going to be a boy.
I'll love a girl as well, if she's exactly like her mother.
Well, we'll see.
How you feeling?
Fine, really. I had a nice nap, and when I woke up, I thought about you in the judge's chambers. It was so strange, Alan. Andy and I were so close for such a long time.
Yes, yeah, I know. Just don't think about it.
Do you have any idea of how long a sentence he got?
I didn't wait around to hear. But from the other testimony, the evidence was totally damning.
Well, Derek seemed very pleased. He thought that Judge Hargraves gave you a very fair sentence.
Yes, well, 2 to 5 years is hardly my idea of a fair sentence, Mom.
Well, Mike and Derek told me that you could be out in 18 months with a parole. I mean, you've got a good record.
Look, Mom, I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in what this has done to you.
Andrew, I'll be fine. I just want you to get your life straightened out.
Yeah. Listen, was Diane Ballard in the courtroom today?
Diane, why do you ask?
Well, nothing. I mean, she was a friend.
Well, I'll come by and see you tomorrow.
No, I don't think so. I think that would be very hard for both of us. I just want you to get on a plane, and I want you to go to Switzerland. And I want you to forget about me until I'm free, okay?
Andrew, I'll never forget you. You're my son.
Mom, I think right now that you would better go before we both break down, okay?
Okay.
Goodbye, Mom.
Goodbye, Andrew.
Barbara, wait right here. I'll drive you over to Mom's. But first, I'd like a word with Andy, too.
Yes, of course, of course.
Well, Ed, yes, I was hoping you would drop by so we could have a little talk.
So you're saying I'll make more money if I use cheaper ingredients and fillers?
Yes, you will.
No, I won't. Young man, you might know bookkeeping, but you don't know a thing about Hillshire Farm smoked sausage. People buy my smoked sausage in Polska, Kielbasa, because I make it with farm fresh cuts of pork and beef, hand-trimmed, lean and tender.
Dinner's ready.
Quality meat makes Hillshire Farm
Delicious. I wouldn't change a thing.
Hillshire Farm, now with recipes right on the label.
They changed it. There's nothing sacred.
Why change the I can't believe it's a girdle? I loved it. Lightweight, firm control. What could be better?
They didn't change it. Playtex improved it, made it more comfortable. Panty leg styles have a new leg hugger that's easier to slip on. And there's a new cotton blind panel to help keep you cooler.
Love it. Lightweight, firm control, more comfortable than ever.
Now special savings available on Playtex I Can't Believe It's a Girdles.
This has been the award-winning Guiding Light. Fashions provided by Lily Rubin Salon, South-Southwest, Ruth Saltz Designs, and Barney's.